Parable 1 comes from Mathew 9:16. No one patches up an old coat with a piece of new cloth, for the new patch will shrink and make an even bigger hole in the coat. Parable number 2 follows in Mathew 9:17. Nor does anyone pour new wine into used wineskins, for the skins will burst, the wine will pour out, and the skins will be ruined. Instead, new wine is poured into fresh wineskins, and both will keep in good condition. These are the first of Jesus' parables. They are among the few that are in all three synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Jesus told them around the same time as the Sermon on the Mount and the calling of his first apostles. The people in Jesus' audience were some disciples of John the Baptist, and perhaps some Pharisees. The parable had special meaning for them. What was it, and what is the message for us today? In what ways does following Christ require us to replace old habits with new ones? The metaphors were drawn from contemporary culture in the time of Jesus. Wineskins would stretch, with new wine being put in as it continues to ferment, and then they would harden. If new wine was put into a hardened wineskin, the continued fermentation risked bursting the skin. Similarly, new cloth would be expected to shrink considerably. So using it to patch already shrunken cloth would be asking for problems. The point, of course, is that Jesus has a new message, the good news. And if you try to fit it into the old Jewish religion, law, system of animal sacrifices, and so on, it isn't going to fit. Jesus' point here is that what he brings cannot be made to fit in the old order and old forms of religion with which the Jews were familiar. To do that would be destructive to both the old and the new. What Jesus brings is new, fresh, and transformational. It will rip apart anything that tries to force it into another way of doing, perceiving, and experiencing. Jesus is saying he was the start of a new religion separate from Judaism and even different from that of John the Baptist. Becoming a Christ follower, a Christian, is a whole new life, not just another religion to be thrown into the world mix of faiths. This is true today as it was 2,000 years ago.